Can we use an AI program to help us make really interesting tabletop role-playing dungeons? We're going to find out next. What is up, everybody? This is Everything Board Games, and I am your host for today, Paul, otherwise known as the Techno Funk Boy. Now, most of the time when you're seeing me, it is something Dungeons & Dragons or tabletop role-playing game related, and this is no different. What we're going to take a look at today is Dungeon Alchemist, which purports to be like an AI-driven dungeon creator. I had actually seen this program either advertised or brought up in various places before I got this copy to review, and I passed right by it because, like, when I'm doing my own dungeons, I want the rooms to make sense. I want them to be like a little story behind everything, and it did not appeal to me at all to just have this computer kind of fill in things for me. That's not really what's going on here, even though you can have it do that. We're going to get more into that as we go. But to start things off with, this copy of Dungeon Alchemist was provided to me for the purposes of this review. And I got to fiddle with it, and I had fun. That's one of the most important things. Now, I've done map making reviews here before, and this is one thing I really like. I really enjoy making maps, and I will very, very often take maps from even if I'm running like a source book campaign, I will take the maps and I will redo them on my own most of the time, because I think, and I usually can do things better. This one has a little bit of a different approach, and I think the best way for me to explain what's going on is to show you what's going on. So we're going to open up the program, and I'm going to run through some stuff here for us. So the first thing is I just opened something. Look, there's a ton of different backgrounds, and you can customize the size of this map to really whatever you want. This is what I just had it down as the default, and we're going to run basically through just a thing to show how it works. So in this case, and I do realize that I cut off the side of things. You'll just have to hang with me here. We're going to click on click on a tavern. And and there's several sections underneath tavern, and we're going to do the Great Hall. And so you're going to draw how big you want this thing and place it. Click the check mark, yes, and it's going to build something for you. Now, here is where this has a bit more practicality than I originally thought, just looking at the advertisements. If we don't like that, we can ask it to redo it. And actually, that one, to me, that one is a lot better. It does need a kitchen though, right? And so this is kind of where the bar is. And so we're going to place our kitchen down here, and which is pretty big for a kitchen. Didn't quite mean to make it that big. I have a little pantry in there. And then we're going to build out some bedrooms, and it's going to react to whatever you're doing. It's like you just noticed that it took out our fireplace, and the reason is it wanted to make room for that door. So in its place, it put a little thing. So this is where already, this is not turning out quite the way I wanted it to. It's serviceable. It's serviceable, but it's not exactly what I wanted. It might have some little quirks to it. Like, for example, This pantry opens up into the main area instead of the kitchen where it really should be. But that's not really a problem. We just can move it. And now it's in the kitchen. All right. You can move the bed. Twist it around. It does stay within the walls, but we can kind of turn these the way we want them, and it will snap to the wall if we're pushing it that far. In the objects menu, you can it'll have different you can put in like different types of furniture, shelving, which actually I think the shelves are pretty cool because it will put it against the wall here. A little bench in there to work on things. And so we can very, very, very quickly work with what we have to make an interesting map rather quickly. All of these items are movable just by clicking and then moving them. And this is one way that, like, I'm a very big fan of programs like Tailspire, where Tailspire is not quite what we're doing here. Tailspire is designed to look like like a tabletop miniature setup. But the advantage here is if we need to move a window from Tailspire, we have to move the wall, we have to move the window, and it takes a second. This figures out very quickly what you're trying to do and accommodates it. And that's where I think the strength is. Now, the throwing in some basic furniture in a room is super cool. Like for instance, the second time we tried the main room in the tavern here, I think that's great. I think that works. This setup works really, really nicely. And so it's going to throw in a table and some stuff on top of the table, all of which you can move. You can change the colors on these things. There's a lot of different things you can do. You can kind of shrink things if you just feel like this is too big. You can shrink them. Adjust them and all of that. But a lot of times you'll hit something like this that just really works. Now, I'm pretty happy with this tavern now, and that did not take long. In the past, I was kind of using certain programs when I really wanted to get detailed, and then certain programs when I wanted to go fast. Dungeon Scrawl in particular is just a very, very basic overhead map. It looks really cool, and it's very, very quick. It's very, very quick. This kind of gives me the best of both worlds. I can go very quickly here while getting some really neat detail. There's a lot of there's a ton of different effects and different things that you can make out here. Put a cart out front, even stuff with like a graveyard that we'll put out over here, and then perhaps in the graveyard we need kind of a little bit of a fog going on here. Now these are all animated, and you can see as we like zoom in here that these effects are animated. And so now we're getting kind of a darker feel to this place. And so I can set things to sunset to give it a completely different look and feel, or to night, sunrise. And so there's a lot of things that you can you can do here. you can place the individual walls, or I'm sorry, change the wall type. And so if you're just like super not digging what we've got here, let me see what we can do. Oh, that's interior. Yeah, so we can change the interior to kind of this earthen feel. With just a click. These are things I really like about this program. Now, this is all cool and stuff, but getting it out of here, there's a lot of different options that we can use that are going to let us use the features in different programs to our advantage. All right, so and you know what, before we do that, you can make this into a very, very flat map image. You can make it, kind of 2.5 dimensions. Give it a little bit of depth, which I really like. Or you can go full 3D on it, and that is how we are going to export. So you can export it as as this 3D space. You can export it as a looping video if your virtual tabletop does support that, or as simply an image. So I use Roll20 a lot, and so I'm going to go mostly image only. Now, when we export it, it is going to give you the dimensions of our image, and so when we throw it into Roll20, it's going to fit on the grid perfectly. And so that is a very, very basic thing, but it is very much appreciated. As a quick side note, like I pulled the I have the digital version of the Dragonlance book, as well as I bought the Shadows of Dragon Queen physical book. But I pulled the map off my digital copy and threw it into Roll20, and the dimensions of the picture didn't fit the grid. I know they're trying to get you to buy the Roll20 version of it. I know, but we're not going to have that problem here. It's going to fit. It's going to hammer into our grid perfectly, and give a very, very vibrant map for us to use. So I have made a map for one of my games, and instantly, like, everybody was commenting on, like, even though this was the image only, it wasn't even animated, it was just the image from above. The players thought it was very neat and started making comments right away. And so I was pleased to know that not only was I having a ton of fun making it, but that the players were appreciating it as well. So that's basics. So there's a ton of stuff in this program. Absolute ton of features that you can play around with. I've made complete maps of just the most random stuff. I really only showed you the outside and one tile set, which was the tavern, but you can make, they've made one that I did use was an Alchemist laboratory, castles, crypt, desert mansion, pits, a village. There's a lot here that you can do, as well as different type of backgrounds, playing with elevations. All of that stuff is all built in. So all in all, I was genuinely surprised at what this what the program could do, as its features, and how quick and fun it was to use. It wasn't at all the thing that I thought it was, which was just a random dungeon generator. By the way, you can do that. You can totally do that, and just set to a certain tile set so that oh, okay, I'm doing a dungeon, and just do random, like the rooms. Set it to random, and so we'll just put something there, which could be fun. It's not really the way I play, but I'm getting a ton of use out of this, and this is very quickly becoming my go-to, and so as of the publication of this, for the next several days on Steam, there is a special going on, but it is on Steam. All the links, of course, are going to be below in the description. If this is something that you could benefit from in your game, do check it out. I'm kind of hesitant going into new mapping programs because I like what I have, but this one was a great surprise and a very, very pleasant surprise for me that I'm very happy with. And so, otherwise, everythingboardgames.com. Please check out the website frequently. We constantly have new reviews and such going up there, as well as if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe and the bell icon. Y'all know the drill. Y'all have been on YouTube before. We really do appreciate it. Got some more reviews that I'm working on that I'm really excited about, and so they're going to come out pretty quickly here, and so check those out. Otherwise, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.